Go. All right. I believe that we are live. I am Laura Hart, founder and CEO of Robofun, and I have two of my amazing interns, Jake and Julio, here. Jake, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good day so far.
Great. And Julio?
I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Good, 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 good.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to start our heart to heart. I run these about once a month to give you all more information about what goes on at RoboFun and a few housekeeping things before we have the chance of talking to these amazing interns. We are a company that provides children with ways to love to learn by making things technological, by making robots, by learning how to code, by learning about circuitry and electronics through Minecraft, and also by making stop motion animations. You can think about like Wallace and Gromit. So my housekeeping things are we're running summer camp. If we are not full for the week, we allow students to do 3 days or around 3 days. So if you're still casting about, you check with us if we have the space. But also, we have summer camp all summer. It starts at 9, ends at 4 with early drop off and late pickup. And every week it's a new group of kids for robotics, coding, coding in Python, coding in Scratch, and stop motion and Minecraft. And give us a call at 212-245-0444 for any week the rest of the summer. Not everything is full. So come talk to us and we'll see what we can do, or go to robofun.org. And for a free event coming up, that's one of my favorite of the whole year, is an event at MoMath on the 11th from 10 to 4. And it is a math festival. We will be there with our amazing Rubik's Cube solver, along with lots of cool hands-on things to do. So that's my housekeeping. Now I get to Jake and Julio, who I've worked side by side with for the last couple of years. And I wanted to share what happens at RoboFun. What do they do? And I see we have some people watching. Please feel free to jump in with questions. But let's start with you, Jake. First of all, how did you come upon RoboFun?
So I was actually a student here, I believe in kindergarten. I think I did after school.
Okay.
So I do remember being in, I think what is now the pre-robo class. Like I remember those specifically. And I think at one point I definitely did a Scratch class. Like I think I made like a maze game. And fast forward like 8 years and I'm 14 and my mom is like, you got to get a job. So she's walking by and I think someone was outside like checking in for camp and she was like, oh, do you guys have like summer jobs or internships? And they were like, actually, yeah, we do. So my mom comes back like super happy and she tells me about it. And I'm like, okay. So I go in, I get interviewed, and then I get the job and I start working there every summer.
Okay, so are we on your fourth or fifth summer?
Yeah, fourth summer. I think. Well, I've been here for 4 years, but I think this is my third summer because I don't think I came here in junior year. But
Yep.
I also worked here after school in senior year, so I did like the 4 to 6 for the kids coming after school.
Cool, cool. And now you're no longer a resident of New York City during the year because you're now in college, right?
Yeah, I am in college. So this for like 9 months of this year, I was in DC, which has been great. I really like it there. But for now, for this summer, for a few months, I'm at home, which is really nice too.
So you're in college. What are you studying and where are you in college?
I go to college at GW, the George
Uh-huh.
Washington University in DC,
Yep,
and I'm
yep.
doing a double major in currently it's in finance and international business, which is like the economics of global trade.
Wow.
So that's tentative. It's not final yet. I might want to switch to accounting at some point, but
Mhm.
for now, that's what I'm doing.
That's very cool. So Julio,
Hmm.
how did you join RoboFun?
Um, I don't specifically remember the name, but there was this program that was being promoted at my school, at my high school. It was my senior year of high school, and I kind of wanted to like dip my foot into like getting working experience, whether it be paid or not. And then like perfect timing, a program is presented to me by my like supervisor, and it's like this program that puts like students in like all over the city, gives them like different jobs based on what they want to do and that are catered towards their careers. And so at the time I was attending like a CTE high school, which is like a high school that like specifies in a certain thing, and for me that was technology. And so I apply for the program and I get put in Robofun with two others who did the program with me and are not here. And I mean, anytime anybody asks me, I always say I got really, really lucky because so many people applied to that program. Like I want to say half the senior class, which is like 100 students applied to the program, and they all got put all throughout the city, but only I was able, or myself and two others were able to get here, and I was actually given the opportunity to like make something of it past the program. And so after I think it was 60 hours, after that ended, they reached out to me and they let me know like, hey, we really enjoyed what you've been doing here the past couple of weeks. We want to know if you'd be willing to come back. And so it was really exciting because it was like something that is like something that I can see myself doing in the future, and it's steps I'm taking towards that goal, which is I never thought I'd be able to do at the time.
So it really opened up a pathway for you.
Yeah, it definitely opened my eyes.
So go ahead, Julio. I didn't mean to.
No, I was just gonna say like it was like an experience I 100% needed, because prior to this I had no working experience, so I didn't really know like what I was getting myself into. But I've learned like so much, not just like in terms of technology, but like social skills and like things you would need to work as an adult in the real world.
Yep. So am I right that this is then your second summer with us?
Yes. I've been here for a year and a half now. I
Right.
worked last summer and now I'm here. I'm back here for this summer.
Well, for both of you, we are so happy to have you, and we need what you bring us. So what I'd like to ask you is what actually do you do all day at Robofun? Or I know you're on shifts. One of you is in the morning, one of you is in the afternoon, and then so let's learn about that.
I guess I can go first because I usually like the morning shift. So I would say for like 70% of the weeks of the summer, I think I'm TAing in a class. So generally, when there's more than 6 students for a class, especially if like some of the students are being like a little problematic or kind of difficult to work with, I'll go in and help the teacher. Like I'll help the students with their builds, I'll help them program, that kind of thing. But other than that, there's usually always some equipment problems, which is like a lot of what I did during the school year because there weren't as many kids. So I actually really enjoy working with the equipment because when I was younger in middle school, I loved computers and like hardware, and I loved like troubleshooting it. Like my computer is so old now and it always has like some problem wrong with it, and I always have to figure it out. I've opened it up like countless times to try to figure stuff out. So I really enjoy doing that here and like testing equipment and seeing what works and what doesn't. And yeah, that's mainly and then like along with that, like just a bunch of like random little tasks that people give me, like go do this, like go print this out, stuff like that.
So before I ask Julio the same question, for our audience to know, at this time of year, boxes and boxes of robotic equipment return to us from schools. And the order upon which they come back to the school is not pristine like when we get them sent to go out to the school. So Jake and Julio, I find sitting there unpacking a box and working with a checklist. Do we have 6 motors in here? Do we have this many plates? And so I have done this, when you run a company, you try to do everything. It's kind of calming for a while. I think after an hour or two, you need to do something else. But so, yeah. So Julio, what would you describe about what you do? And also, before you do that, Julio, we never heard. So you left Robofun, and where did you go for the last year? Where have you been in college, and what have you been studying?
I'm studying computer science at a SUNY called SUNY Potsdam. It's farther up in the North Country. It's still in the state of New York, but it's been a great experience.
So you're studying computer science. And do you have a goal with that? Do you want to teach? Do you think you want to go into industry?
I think prior to like coming here, I would have told you like, oh, I would have wanted to go in the industry. I would have wanted to work for like Google or Apple. But I think as I've been here, I've kind of like explored a passion that I didn't know I had for like having an influence on like youth, and so I could very much like see myself becoming a teacher through like a Python or Java class, any of the sort. Mm-hmm. So honestly, I'm open to like all avenues, whatever comes, I'll take.
I think one of the things that typifies our interns is flexibility. And in this case, we have a bilingual program, and Julio is jumping in this summer to support us as a Spanish and English speaker. And I was very impressed with Julio's attitude, like, yeah, throw me in. And I know from my experience, both teaching and managing, that the kids are going to love you, and you're going to have a blast.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Julio, describe a typical day for you at Robofun.
I mean, it's not much different to Jake's. A lot of times we'll have like bigger groups of classes, and during the afternoon, because during the summer specifically, they're split up, and so the Lego portions of classes are usually at the beginning of the day, and then the more computer-based classes are in the afternoon. So a lot of the times, if I am TAing, I'm troubleshooting like computers for the students, or I'm making sure the computers are charged, like simple tasks that just make like the teachers' lives easier when somebody else is also there to help them. And so like they don't have 8 kids bombarding them with the same question. We kind of split up the work and work with the teachers to like ease the workload on one person amongst 2 people.
Yep.
And then on top of that, as Jake and you also mentioned, we do a lot of like equipment management for the company, and so he mentioned like the auditing of sets that we send out to schools and different programs that we run. But then we also have like our marketing equipment that we always have to manage for like open houses, or like the MoMath event that you mentioned. We'll most likely be having to manage that equipment soon. So yeah, little things that just ease the workload on everybody else around.
And adding on to the equipment, something I forgot to mention is one of the bigger projects that we had the 2 weeks leading up to summer camp was tracking all of the on-site equipment, which was like probably like 400 things, like all the motors, all the sensors, all the hubs. So we had to label all those and put them in a spreadsheet. And now the week before, like this Friday, we'll go in and we'll track what's delegated to what classroom for the next week. And then we'll mark it down like, oh, this is in the 3rd through 6th classroom. This is in the 1st through 2nd. And that was actually Tommy's idea, which is our manager. And I think that was a really good idea because it lets us keep track. And I noticed before, like in the summers prior when I was here, a lot of times you'd be like, where is like this item? Like, where's like this hub? Like, we have no idea where it went. It was in here before. So that was, I think, a really good, even though tedious, I think that was a really good task. And it feels good to like be able to contribute to the office and like kind of know where everything is since we have access to that spreadsheet.
That's great. That's great. One of my favorite books, which you both might enjoy, is written by an author, Atul Gawande, and it has an extremely boring name, but it's a very fun read. It's called The Checklist Manifesto. And it's all about how checklists can free you to do the more interesting and creative things, knowing that the basics are taken care of. That's it's a very fun read. It was written by the surgeon who was tapped by the World Health Organization because of issues of both infection and people getting the wrong surgeries. So if you've ever had a surgery, you know that they will, on their checklist, the surgeon's checklist is to take a Sharpie and to indicate on the patient's body, where is the surgery going to happen? So the hip surgery doesn't happen on the wrong hip, which has happened painfully to people. So, but it's a great read, and as college students, you might find it really interesting. So we have a really interesting comment. What advice would you give to another student who is looking to apply for an internship in this industry? That's question number one. We've got two, but let's start with that one.
Dude, like, I mean this in the best way possible. Do not be afraid to reach out. Like, you have to be aware and considerate that this is like a really well-oiled machine, and everybody's playing their part, everybody's constantly busy. And so for somebody that is young and may want to get involved, you don't be afraid to send that one email, that two emails if you don't get a response. Don't be afraid to call, don't be afraid to show up, because that shows that like you are passionate, or you are intrigued at what we're doing, and that you can, like, you're willing to be like, what's the word? You're willing to like take on whatever.
Proactive.
Yeah, exactly. You're willing to put in for the entire group. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out.
That's a great answer. Jake, anything to add to that, or we can also move on to the next question?
I think he mostly covered everything, yeah, but I think like a more anecdotal thing was Jessie is like our hiring manager. I'm pretty sure that's her title. And she's like told me specifically, like, there's there's so many people that like that reach out, and like people who email multiple times and like show genuine interest. Like basically an opportunity will almost never come to you. Like you always have to like take initiative and reach out first if you want something to happen.
Yeah. Yep. Very good lesson in life. I'm sitting here thinking that it would be really, really fun to interview you both 4 years from now, when you both finished your freshman year, and in 4 years you will have finished your first year, hopefully, of working, and it'd be really interesting to see where you're going to end up, because I think you'll do great things. So, one more question, and then we're going to wrap things up, unless you have something you would like to add, Jake or Julio.
Okay. See what the last question is, then maybe I'll think of something.
Yeah. Okay. How has this experience shaped what you want to do in the future? Why don't we start with Julio, because we're always starting with Jake.
I shed it a little light on it, but when I first like got the position through the program, I wasn't fully aware what it was I wanted to do with the skills I was learning in high school. Like, I knew I liked technology. I like playing video games. I like messing with computers. I like electronics, but I didn't know specifically what it was I wanted to explore with the passion. And so I'm like coming into the program as a 17-year-old kid, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be like 60 hours, make my money, go on about my life. But as I'm like showing up every day and interacting with the staff and the students, I'm realizing like I enjoy the environment that like a school or an after school such as us like provides. And I think it comes or it stems from like my own after school experiences from when I was a kid, because I would always be enrolled in after schools, and I'd be at school from basically 8 p.m. to 7 or 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so I think being able to be that other side, being able to be the staff that helps students, find this one Lego piece in a box or something insignificant, it meant like so much more, and I would find like genuine joy in doing that, and so it opened like a whole new perspective for me personally.
You better be careful. You get in the teaching bug.
Yeah,
Julio.
it's stuck. It's already there.
Yeah, it's not a bad
I'm
thing.
enjoying it.
And Jake,
I think. Sorry, what was the exact question again?
you have two choices. How has this experience shaped what you want to do in the future? That's choice number one. It's like choose your own adventure. Or choice number two, anything you want to add that you think our audience might find interesting about being an intern at Robofun?
I'll answer the first one. I think I have a pretty good answer. I think the biggest thing that this has like shaped me with is like how much I enjoy working with people and like in like a team where it feels like everyone is contributing. And I think just like working with coworkers and especially in like a relatively tight-knit environment where like I know I see like the same exact people every single day, I think it's really special to be able to like meaningfully contribute to that and like see how it helps other people. And yeah, I think I was gonna say something.
That's
Yeah,
great. That's
yeah.
great.
And even just like interacting with parents and like answering the phone, like being able to like solve their problems and like knowing exactly like who to point them to and like, oh hey, let me get you to this person. I think that's been really, really great because I've always struggled with working in a team, like especially when I was younger. I think I was pretty introverted, like when it came to like group projects. So I think this has like really, really helped me hone that skill.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Anything you feel like you would like to add to this conversation? It is not required, but anything that I might not have asked or that you're thinking about?
I mean, this is advice for anybody that's listening or anybody that's young. If it happens to reach the right person, I learned this the hard way recently. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Like, as stupid as a question may sound, as like insignificant as the problem you're solving may be, do not be afraid to ask a question, because whether you are right or wrong, it shows you are intrigued, it shows you are willing to learn, it shows you are willing to commit. And so if you don't know something, I showed up here. I didn't know what spike robotics was. I had no idea what a hub was, what a motor was, but I asked questions. And the great, like the amazing team we have here was more than willing to help me and teach me step by step what to do, how to do it, what it is, how it works. And so I mean it like fully to whoever's listening, young or old. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because no one will ever bash you for wanting to learn.
That is a wonderful way to wrap up. I have two anecdotes that I want to share. Hopefully, Jake, this was you. It might have been another intern that has started with us, but I believe you might have written us a letter requesting the internship. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, I think I actually did. I think when my mom came back, she was like, "You should write them like a handwritten letter. I think that would really help sell you." I do remember that. Yeah.
And we all looked at the letter and were like, "Oh, we have to give this this 14-year-old a chance." It was very touching. And my anecdote about you, Julio, is that I am extremely good at throwing people into situations for mostly for better, which I think you both are agreeing with. But at last year's National Museum of Math Festival, I met somebody who was looking for somebody. I don't think it played out, and I don't know if your schedule would have allowed it, but she was looking to hire somebody in Potsdam. It's Potsdam, right? Yeah. And so without thinking about it, I just said, well, I got Julio and he'd probably love it. And I saw this look on your face of a little bit of terror. And then you just took a deep breath and you're like, okay, and now who am I meeting? And I was very proud of you.
It's actually funny you say that. I actually have an interview scheduled with them like in 30 minutes. So
Yeah, he told me about that.
yeah, so it's funny you do mention.
Took a little time,
Yeah.
and maybe you could enjoy your freshman year, and that's really cool. So I'm happy to know that, because I think I know who's going to interview you, and I'm going to throw in a good word. So I feel the luckiest to be able to work with you both. So one of my favorite parts of my job is watching people become adults and assume ownership of the job they have at Robofun, feeling comfortable asking questions, opening their mouth and saying, hey, Laura or Tommy or Caroline, I think we might have a better way to do this. What do you think about trying this? And it's really exciting to me that you're with us, and I really wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So, sure. A few more housekeeping things, but before we end, Robofun provides children 3 to now about 13, 14, occasionally 15 classes in robotics, coding, stop motion animation, and Minecraft and circuitry. And the classes in Python are for the older kids. We're developing a brand new Python curriculum on a new platform. Very exciting. We run all summer long. We are running camp from Monday to Friday. You sign up for a week at a time. You can sign up for the mornings, which is physical computing, usually involving some aspect of building. Or you can sign up just for the afternoon, or you can sign up for the full day. And in the middle, we go to the park and we run your children around. And often that is Jake or Julio.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for both of you. I really, really appreciate what you do within the company.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
This was great.
Sure. All right. Thanks. And we'll continue the heart to hearts in about a month.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.